Hi everybody, my name is Ingrid Tang and I'm a writer and Honorary Ambassador at Inspire Youth Journal. Today I'm here to kind of give you a brief overview over how I write my articles and my previous experience with IYJ. Some background about me. I'm currently studying as a Year 8 student at Harrow School, Shenzhen, whilst also doing courses at the Open University for Arts and Humanities and Wellesley Hall, Oxford for GCSEs, which are Econ and Coordinated Sciences. I was first reached out to by IYJ in August of last year, and since then I've published 2 articles. So my first article was about comparing birth rates in different countries and correlated those birth rates with things like education and income. My second article, which was published in their most recent edition as of now, was on the basis of Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins and connecting that to propaganda and recent events in our world. Currently, I'm working on getting another article published about Donald Trump and his tariffs and what that means for Southeast Asia and their trade relations. When I usually write an article and I'm going into it with an idea, usually that idea is something I already developed and I already have a sense of what I want to do. For example, when I was doing my Sunrise on the Reaping article, I already read that book and I really loved it. Therefore, I really wanted to talk about it and connect that to recent events, especially about how many notions of propaganda and things that are very relevant, like AI, in the book. However, if I don't really have an idea, like when I was writing my Donald Trump article, I would usually go onto a major news site, you can be like CNN, BBC, whatever, and use those news sites to find the latest titles. If I hadn't already had an article right now, I would probably write one on Pope, the new Pope, Leo XIV, that was just elected at conclave. I would usually use that one. I would probably use that one because that's the recent headline and it's the most relevant to current events. I feel like IYJ's goal of resonating with younger people and educating a wider audience would really suit that topic, and that is likely a topic I would do if I didn't already have an idea right now. After I get my idea, I usually will have a main source that I take for my process. However, it's always good to have multiple sources, so I usually branch off from one source. For my Donald Trump article, I stumbled one on Reuters, and I used that Reuters article to build from. It was a main article focusing solely on Southeast Asia, and I could use that article to find other articles more on his tariffs, more on the potential impacts, and especially my article, more on dual supply chains. Usually it's good to have a concise article. So usually I would take those research, so probably like, I would say 6-7 websites, and condense them into a short summary. Usually for every article there would be 200 words, I would say, a 200-word summary of each article in which I will draw the key points that are most relevant to my topic, and once I have those most relevant points, I can put them in a good outline that I can use for my article. From that, it's really just phrasing, so I have my key points, and I can just rephrase them in a way that's more concise. And once I have my completed article, my reference list, and the necessary diagrams, I'm going to send it over to IYJ's amazing editing team, who's going to give me feedback, and after I get my feedback, it's an article. So that's a very concise summary about how I write my articles and my previous experience with IYJ, and I really recommend that you look at their articles more because it's very enlightening to see the young people around our world and how they think and about the new events occurring around us. Thank you.